All right. You know, if you ever wanted to put the FBI out of business, one cheap and cheerful way to do that would be to organize a federal government shutdown that went on for, I don't know, some really long period of time, like more than 30 days. One of the things that you endure regularly if you work for an agency like the FBI is that they routinely do financial background checks on you. And you get the basic idea of why they might do that, right? I mean, for example, you may have seen the kind of application you have to fill out to get a security clearance from the US government. The SF-86 form, it has become sort of a famous thing in the Trump era because various senior Trump administration officials have had problems of various kinds with their security clearance applications and their SF-86s. But if you look at those forms, if you look at what you have to demonstrate and spell out in a security clearance, they ask you about all sorts of things. But one of the things that really striking when you actually look at the questions they ask and the documentation you have to provide is that it's a ton of financial stuff. A big part of the way they assess you in terms of whether some adversary or some crook might be able to leverage something against you, part of the way they check that is to check your finances. If you're going to have access to sensitive national security or intelligence-related information, they want to make sure that you're not going to be susceptible to bribery, to literally selling your country for cash. If you are in financial dire straits, or if you are in debt up to your eyeballs, if you've got financial burdens of any kind that might cause you real stress, that's a big red flag. So they stress test you financially before you can get a security clearance. And if you are an FBI agent, that's not just something that they look at the outset of your career. While you are employed as an agent at the FBI, they will go back and frequently recheck that aspect of your life to make sure your financial situation has not changed to potentially open you up to that kind of pressure or leverage. So given that reality, one easy-peasy way to screw up the whole FBI, I mean, not even just the FBI, I mean, everybody involved in federal law enforcement and national security and intelligence work, if you want to take a quick shiv to that whole part of the US government, it's easy. Just start taking away paychecks from all of those people all at once. And not just one paycheck. It would really help if it was multiple paychecks. Let them go multiple pay periods with zero income, while still requiring them to work every day. With that one genius move, you can break the family finances of basically every single federal law enforcement and national security agent in the country. And think of all you accomplish with just that one move. I mean, for one, you actually do risk national security by making all of those people potentially more susceptible to compromise, right? There's a reason why financial strain is a big red flag when it comes to security clearances, right? And law enforcement and national security jobs. Putting all of the people in this country in all of those jobs under serious financial strain all at once, it does systematically increase their potential susceptibility to compromise or corruption. And even better than that, I mean, in one fell swoop with just this one neat trick, you screw up all of their careers. You can create security clearance problems for all of them, all at once, by putting them all under financial strain. And in so doing, you can, in a lasting way, make the FBI and other federal law enforcement and national security agencies seem like super risky and demoralizing places to work. Make it harder from here to eternity for them to ever recruit the best talent in the year. Right? I mean, that's going to happen every year that the FBI and other law enforcement and national security agencies are hiring from here on out. They're going to go to grad schools, they're going to go to colleges, they're going to seek talent everywhere they can all over the country. And people who have other options, you want to come work for the FBI? Might be a few months where you don't get paid, but you still have to work every day. Is that going to be good? You starting a family? I mean, think about what this does to law enforcement and national security agencies and their ability to hire the best, especially if they want to hire people who have some sort of perverse desire to actually be paid for going to work every day. Last week, we reported that the New York field office of the FBI had started a food bank for their agents and their families. Now David Rohde at The New Yorker reports that the FBI's storied Washington field office has also started a food drive for its agents as well. Just like all the other hundreds of thousands of furloughed federal workers, these agents are heading into their second pay period of $0 paychecks. Local reporting in Washington, D.C. tonight indicates that agents have also been told that if they roll on through a second pay period with more $0 paychecks, they will also this week lose their dental and vision coverage for themselves and their families. Today is day 30 of the federal government shutdown, which means tomorrow we start month number 2 of hundreds of thousands of federal employees either being idled entirely or forced to work indefinitely without pay. Apparently, Republicans and the White House all agree that the president's demand for the building of a wall between us and Mexico, that is the hill upon which all of this will die. So we proceed, not quite sure how long this can go on, and also not quite sure what exactly it's going to look like when it all breaks.